Hey folks, so I took one trade today here on TAN. This was straight up, I had this rider I was watching, it came to my alert level and alerted me on the morning. I actually hadn't even been watching it that closely, I just got the alert and I zoomed in. So what I saw right off the open was this. Here was my alert line coming up. I could see that there was, I think this was a 4-hour higher low. Let's just go to the 4-hour and check really quick. No, this was an hourly higher low, and this was the 4-hour higher low. So yeah, if you go to the 1 hour, you can see that. Yeah, so there was this high, higher low, and then rallying from there, and then off the open today, it came down and flushed that hourly higher low. And, you know, I'm looking at this right off the open thinking that would make, like, that's a place to get long for sure. It makes sense. It would be holding the daily EMA 12. It could also come in deeper and take out this guy. And so I knew when it got there that it might not work if I try to put a stop right there. This was definitely a beautiful undercut and rally, but I wasn't sure, and I'll show you why. Let's even go to the 1 minute time frame. Here it is. So first of all, this thing just doesn't really trade in the after hours and pre-market. And you can see in here, there's like gaps between the 1 minute bars. There were gaps between the 5 minute bars. So very illiquid. And I realized that when it came down and it broke this stair step here on this candle high here and started to go, I actually hit a buy order here, and my fill was like 30 cents higher, like way up there. And I was like, oh my God, it's illiquid. I forgot to check, and I forgot to make sure that I was doing limit orders. So it was a feeler position because I knew that like it could come lower. And so I just exited it and took a really tiny loss right away. And then I thought, I'm just gonna wait. And when it had this really big bounce here, I was like, whoa, that's not what I expected. So when it came down here lower, I decided to give it another go, this time with a limit order. And I got a fill somewhere in here. I think it was right, yeah, 59.01 was my fill right in here. Because that was a big bounce. It did come lower, and then on this candle jumped up again, and I thought, oh, this is worth a shot, and I'm gonna give it a go. And I gave it a wide stop way down below this 4-hour higher low. And it basically just went up all day. And what sucks is that because I had to put my stop so far below, the size was really small. And so I did get risk-free on it. So that would be like 59.01, like there. So when it got up here, I did get risk-free. I took off some, and then I actually put my stop right there. So I'm like way more than risk-free. I didn't sell half. I sold, a smaller portion so that I could hold on to more for the bigger move. And then it sort of balanced at the highs all day here. And what sucks is there was this high here that it just couldn't seem to get above. And then on the close here, it dropped way down. I've lost half the value that I made today. So kind of a bummer, but I don't think it's the end of the world. I'm just gonna, if this thing stops me out tomorrow, that's fine. If I go back to the 4-hour time frame and look at this as a rider, just like it undercut this 1-hour higher low, it would not surprise me to now have this 4-hour higher low get undercut tomorrow, and that would be fine. Like, just go ahead, stop me out, and I might even try again. At that point, what I kind of want to see is that it wicks there and does not get to this other 4-hour higher low. I'm going to change this to say 4-hour. So it would be worth a try again, but I hated how illiquid this thing is. It was really not fun to trade. Because there was no great price pattern where I bought, I was just sort of blindly buying in the air without a real stop because it had sort of already wicked out that hourly higher low. It didn't feel like a great trade. But anyway, it worked. I managed to get my risk off, and I was hoping for higher, right? For this thing to just like punch through, but I guess it needs to balance some. So at this point, anybody trading this would hopefully be thinking something like, here's your high, low, lower high. You're going to get another higher low. It might come lower than this one. We don't know yet. And then, go for a break. That's what I'd be thinking anyway. That's what I'm hoping. We'll see if it stops me out tomorrow, if I get to hold on to my small amount of shares. And that's that. The other one that I took today was Google. Just on the daily time frame, you can see we had this. I have a different account where I bought this dip down here, and then in my day trading account, I thought I might go for the daily higher low today. And so when we got the flush off the open, I was interested when it broke the prior day low, which is kind of what I was expecting after this red candle yesterday, Monday. So coming in to the 30-minute time frame, actually let's go right down to the 2. Yeah, so you can see it came down, bounced, set an inside bar. I tried this I tried the inside bar. I think I just bought the inside bar. Was it the 1 minute? Let me just see. No, it was this stair step. So yeah, I tried it here on the break of that candle high with my stop down there, and it immediately didn't work and started to roll over. When it printed this inside bar and cut half, and then broke it bare, I cut half there and took the rest off. So it was a small loss, and then it went on to hit a low again and start to bounce. When it did this, I bought again, and I managed to win back what I lost on this move up. However, I'm looking at it here on the 1 minute time frame, and while it was doing this, like, let me just draw on here what I was seeing. So this is basically printing a rising wedge on the 1 minute time frame, which is a bearish pattern, right? So I'm looking at this thinking, oh, it's not that strong. Meanwhile, QQQ at the same time is doing this. And so with the glaring relative weakness in Google, I was like, this does not feel like it's going to go. So when it got this little push up here, so we hit this high, it came down, hit another high here, and just could not even reach this little high. I sold all of it right there and basically just won back what I had lost, and closed out that trade flat. And then it did peak again, and I was like, oh, I was wrong. And then it rolled over, and I was like, oh, I was right. And then it hit the low of day and bounced again. But either way, I look at this and I'm like, it's kind of weak sauce, man. Like, look at what this did today, and compare that to even just the QQQ. What did QQQ do today? Look at that. Like, that is great. That's a really solid move up. Granted, we're in this tightening range on the 4 hour time frame here. And yes, I know that this came above this line drawing, but I don't really care about that. You could just go like that. Look, now it is in the line drawing. So anyway, we're in this 4 hour tightening range. The real level that matters is like this guy and these guys down here. So it's going to break out of this range tomorrow, probably. And we'll see which way they want to take this market. Are they going to try to push it back up or what? But anyway, I digress. The Google trade showing weakness, I was like, oh, this sucks, when, you know, even the index can do so much better, like such a better move off the low. So I didn't do anything with my position from down here. I'm just holding on to it because I got nothing to lose at this point, and we'll see if this thing can rally or not. Monthly time frame, it does look pretty bad. It did break prior month low after all these stair steps up, but I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. It could just go sideways for a while and then go up. Like, who knows what's going to happen. So anyway, that's that. And that's it for me today.